Yo ninjas, what's up? Ninja here, and presenting the Unbreakable Cobblestone Prison V1. It's V1. This is the first version. There will be more to come, I presume. I'll have a world download in the description for those of you interested. I know the redstone isn't all that pretty, especially since most of it's on obsidian. But let me show you this thing. So as you just seen from my little intro there, the key to this is to trick the player into going into a hole. Although you could also have a, because of how it works, you could technically have a 3x3 area of sand and probably a sculk sensor and break the sand by having it on sign to break the sign, but I digress. So if we go into spectator here, see the whole system. I'm lagging a little bit. So we have a tripwire here that turns on the system. It's important to have the system already filled in with cobble aside from the roof. So the best way to do this is to have the system on and then to disable it and breaks the roof out. So you can see this is the hole that you fall through. You land in this water, which obviously gets gotten rid of when the pistons push up the floor. I mean, you've already seen it in action from inside. But yeah, let me just turn the system on and you can see it from the outside. So if I go ahead and I bring in a new armor stand, it's just over there, and we drop the armor stand in, we're going to go in spectator. So armor stand's in, and just like that, there's the roof coming in. It looks like we're having a little bit of piston fighting right here, but that quickly resolves. And the roof is fully filled in, and if this was a player, they would be completely stuck in here. Oh my goodness, my computer's just dying right now. Calm down, computer. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I'll just get rid of that armor stand. Like, this is me breaking blocks in creative. This is how fast it is against the creative mode player. You're gonna stand your average player will stand no chance against this. I am curious about weaknesses, though. I will have the, is it popcorn screw? Right. I will have the area surrounded by blocks wherever I can. So I don't think this would work, but let's see. Okay, yeah, see, so you could get out if you had corkscrew currently, but later on, this whole system would be actually underground, so there would be no blocks uncovered except for if they're absolutely necessary. Like, for example, there couldn't be blocks there. But this is just version 1. So let me just show you around. There's a lot of things happening here. I probably overcomplicated it a bit, but it makes me feel like a mad scientist. So the concept itself is simple, right? So I was inspired by Mumbo mostly, because he made the Cobblestone Unbreakable wall. But so here's the problem with an unbreakable wall, right? So say you've got an unbreakable wall, you know, blocks keep coming back up, and you've got, let's say, a 3x3 wall. That's fantastic and all, you know, you break a block, it pushes blocks back up in, and it stops you from getting into the base. But what if you just go around it? So I haven't seen anyone do this effectively yet, so I'm patenting this. Obviously you can't really patent a Minecraft creation, but this is my design, and I quite like how this has turned out. I've used a lot of different redstone circuits here that I've never really used before, so I'm sure there could be some optimization to this. Here I've got a beacon. This is very important. It gives you resistance and regeneration, so the player can't suicide, because what can happen is if you get just enough RNG and you got a really good pickaxe, you can get into the wall. You still can't escape, but then you start to suffocate. And when this happens, obviously I can't let the player die. Then they could escape. That would be escaping. They'd go respawn. No, I refuse to do that. So when the system turns on, we pull this off of the beacon, and we pull this off of the ground. See, we had this covered up, hidden before, so that we have direct access to the sky. It's just, this is my best build. This is the best build I've ever made. It's just really good. Now you may be thinking, oh, this seems a little bit slow right here, right? But it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. This is the slowest part of the machine. It's just on a constant clock. Speaking of clocks, the heart of this machine is this little repeater clock here, and this clock here. I stole this design directly from Mumbo Jumbo, so full credit to him for that. It's just a 30 game tick clock, and that's how long the lava takes to generate cobblestone. I got these commands here to set things up. So this will clear all the cobble out. Well, almost all of the cobble. I left a little bit just so it wouldn't take as long. I'll do that in a sec and do a little time lapse of it filling up. But yeah, let me just show you through the circuit. It's a little hard to explain what's going on. So we're making use of the mechanic where observers can detect changes to oak leaves. I think it works with any leaves, but I like oak leaves. So you can see that the distance on the right there changes every time the log moves. So that's the distance to the log, and that's how I set off both these long walls here. I used a combination of observers and sticky pistons and this mechanic here, all being powered from the same 30 clock. I have that on both sides. But this was a bit too slow. So there's just this huge piston wall, and I've got on the 30 clock I've got cobble coming up from here and then being pushed across. But the problem was it was too slow because the cobble would come up from here and get pushed, but then stuff up near the top would take a lot longer. So I've also got one up here at the top, which then pushes down into the stack of cobble here. We've also got cobble being pushed up from all of these three locations. This one from lower, this is the floor. It's exactly 13 blocks. The pistons down here are exactly 13 blocks from the floor of the prison cell. And yeah, so we push cobble up from there, and then because this is 3x3, I also push cobble through the middle of it. So I just have a quick cobblestone generator here that just push one line through the middle, just so it doesn't take as long, because otherwise you got some coming from both sides and then it gets pushed up. It's going to take forever for the middle to come in, so we have this system. That is a lot to go over, but basically cobble gets generated and gets pushed around all in a big old circuit here until it reaches these walls. And I've got pistons on the top, the bottom, the left, and the right, some of them pushing against each other, just so that the cobble comes in to the middle section fast enough that you simply cannot get away. I've tested this pretty extensively, so if you can escape it, I would love to see you guys try it. The only rule is that you have to assume, right, that someone going into this doesn't really know it's there. So you just have like your average player's gear. Heck, maybe you've got an enchanted netherite pickaxe, but none of that matters unless you've got like haste, which you absolutely would not have if you were falling into here. And even with haste, you might not be able to escape. One way that you can possibly escape is if you ender pearl out right at the start. But if you're, let's put it this way, if you actually get trapped in it, so you're down there, the roof's over you, I don't see you getting out. I just do not see you getting out. Let me just demonstrate once again. I want to give a special shout out to someone who, I guess he tends to go by Spelunk. So big shout out to him for being the guinea pig to this. He had no idea that this was down here. That's why the demonstration looks so genuine. But if I put myself in survival, alright, and I try and mine out, like there's just no way I'm getting out of this. And that's because not only do we have cobble being generated and pushed up into this wall, we have it being generated and pushed from the right, pushed from the left, pushed from the top, pushed from the bottom, and pushed from the back. And this is pretty much exactly the same in the case of every single side of this, including the bottom. We've got cobble being, see, and it's just too fast. It's just too fast. It'll push you out. I would love to see if any of you guys can escape this thing, and also let me know what you think of it. Any suggestions you may have, because I'm going to have another iteration of this later on. I'm probably going to make V2, where I'll try and solve any issues that may be present in V1. This is such a crazy build. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shut off the system, clear out the cobble, and time lapse it for you guys. So unfortunately I have to manually shut this thing off, so I gotta break this clock, wait for that to stop, replace that, and I have to come over here, break this clock, wait for all that to stop, replace that, and then I come up here where there should be some pistons for slime blocks, and I've got an observer clock up here, just goes round and round. I just disable it like that. Same thing on this side. All of this gets turned on by the system, just by the single tripwire. Everything gets active from that, and I'll demonstrate that. So if we come over here and we clear all the cobble, as you can see, I've left some of it just so it doesn't take quite as long. What's the best angle to view this at? I guess I probably want to be F1 here. So I'm going to reset the test dummy, take off F3, and I'm going to just time lapse this for you guys. I'm going to drop the test dummy and you can check it out. Yeah, that's what the system looks like, y'all. Obviously, if I was setting up the system as a trap, I would have shut it off at this point. Then I would break this, put water here, and then clear out this roof, and then the trap's ready. I'll leave a world download for this in the description. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Catch you guys in the next video. This is my magnum opus so far, ninjas. Edit out.